Hey, what's up, solar family? Whoa, what's going on here? What's going on with the video? How are you guys? Hopefully you guys having an amazing day. It's James here. If you guys watching me live, say what's up. Say hello if you're watching me on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe before you bounce out of here. My dog is actually in the back. We're driving home from Arizona back to San Diego. It's been a super busy few weeks for me personally, and hopefully it's been a good productive couple weeks for you as well. But I just want to go over it seems like, I guess this video is going to seem like it should be common sense, but you know how it is. Common sense is not so common these days anymore. And I just want to go over how first impression basically goes a really, really long way, because the results that you have, right? The results that you have, good or bad, whatever they may be, as far as closing deals, there's a direct correlation to the things that you do, right? The little details as far as maybe your sales presentation, how you present yourself, how the company presents themselves, the marketing material, the guys at the door, how do they look? There's a direct correlation to your conversion rate, right? So what I want to go over are maybe some of the things that may be common sense to you, but hopefully if you're not implementing this, you can implement it in your business, and hopefully it increases your conversion rate. Because like at the end of the day, there's not really one magic bullet to close deals. It's a combination of things, right? A combination of things to, your presentation, to how you look and things like that. And that's what I actually wanted to go over today is your first impression with your homeowner. And obviously there's other things that go on behind this or before this. But when you're at the door or whatnot, or before you even get to the house, the first thing is make sure that your car is clean, right? It may be dirty inside, but when you pull up to the house, sometimes the homeowner is actually standing outside, right? Maybe you catch the homeowner at the same time when they're pulling into their driveway, and then you pull up, and the first impression goes a long way, right? So if your car is dirty from the outside, they're like, oh crap, you know what? This guy doesn't even take care of his car or whatnot, right? So the first tip for you, because like I said, first impression goes a long way, is make sure your car is presentable, right? Because you don't want to pull in with a dirty car, right? So secondly, the second thing that you need to do when you do, get out of your car, make sure that you actually dress the part, right? Because I've been meeting with a lot of solar consultants over the last few weeks, even out in Arizona, and certain consultants play the part. They look the part, right? There's a look that the homeowner is perceiving you to have when you actually get to the home, right? Normally it's like a polo shirt, or maybe it can be a button-up shirt with your logo or whatnot, right? But you have to really dress the part like as if you're working for a professional solar company, right? So a lot of times people walk in there with a really nice dress shirt and things like that, which is awesome. I mean, if you're outside of the solar sales environment, right? So there's a time and a place where you actually wear your really nice clothes when you're out with your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, or whatnot. And there's a time when you have to look professional and you have to fit the part of a solar sales professional, right? So I guess my tip is make sure that you're dressed accordingly. And most solar companies, they're branded. They have their own branded shirts and things like that. So make sure you're using that, because that's going to help to your advantage to look the part. Because again, perception goes a long way. Thirdly, your shoes. So make sure, when you walk in a house, first and foremost, I always teach my students to ask the homeowner if they, want them to take their shoes off, especially if your shoes are dirty. But for the most part, I would ask anyway, but for the most part, make sure your shoes are clean. Because you've probably been hitting the streets, and sometimes it gets a little rugged, it gets a little dirty. And if that's the case, right, if you canvas as well, as long as and you also sell, and if your shoes get a little ragged, swap them out, right? Have two pairs of shoes. Have the walking shoes when you're going canvassing, and have your nice shoes or your nicer shoes when you're actually meeting with a homeowner, right? So it definitely goes a long way. The fourth thing is make sure your devices are clean. Because I see this all the time where, you're sitting in front of the homeowner, and maybe you're sitting with a colleague or whatnot, and your colleague's presenting, and you're mentoring him or her, and their device is just like plastered with like oil or whatnot, right? Looks like they just ate a burrito supreme and they just, put fingerprints all over the screen, because that's gonna go a long way, right? If you look sloppy and things like that, it's gonna affect your conversion rate, because everything that you do, whether good, whether bad, it always affects your conversion rate, right? So these are little details that you need to pay attention to. So you don't want to decrease your conversion rate. You want to make sure that you're constantly increasing your conversion rate. So make sure that the devices are clean. And fifth, I think this is the fifth thing, what type of device are you using, right? Are you using like a really cheap computer? I mean, for the most part, homeowners don't really care. But if you have a really nice computer, maybe it's a MacBook, computer, MacBook Air, maybe you're using an iPad, one of those nice, 12 and a half inch or 12.9 inch or whatever it is, those nice big iPads, that gives you a perception that you're a professional, right? So if you're walking in there with some funky laptop and it's dirty and things to that nature, it's going to start decreasing your conversion rate. Maybe it's not going to prevent you from closing a deal, but it will decrease your conversion rate rather than having a perceived higher value by doing these things, right? Whether, your car is clean, you're dressed to the part, your shoes are nice and clean, your computer and your devices are clean. Maybe you have a high-end computer that you're using. It all, in combination, is all going to help you increase your conversion, right? And the last thing I want to share with you is your handout material. The things that you're handing out to your homeowners, make sure they're not wrinkled, right? They're wrinkle-free, because I see this all the time as well with my students. Is they say, "Hey, James, this is the things that I hand out to my homeowners or whatnot," and it's like wrinkled, you know what I mean? And it looks like, they got some greasy stuff on it, and it looks like it's been in their bag for like 3 or 4 months or whatever. So every little thing that you do, whether it's good, whether it's bad, it's gonna increase or either decrease your conversion. So you already have a crack at closing this deal. You're at bat, and you want to make sure that you're looking sharp and everything is on point, right? Literally at this point. So hopefully you guys got some value from that. So the first thing is making sure that your car's clean, because it happened to me because I don't sell physically anymore. I actually sell everything online. But I know throughout the week when I used to sell, and I pull up to the house, and never fails, my car would be a little bit dirty, and they pull up the same time as I pull up, like, holy crap, what I mean? I've been meaning to wash my car, but I just haven't had a chance to do so. So at the end of the day, just look sharp, fit the part, and make sure you're doing these things to help you increase your conversion rate. Other than that, hopefully you guys got some, value from that, and hopefully you guys are doing amazing. And if you guys are watching me on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. I love all the support. I love all the comments. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me, whether here on Facebook or you guys reach out to me on YouTube. I love to help you in any way possible if I can. Other than that, peace out. Have a great day.